Hey everybody. If you opened up a Google Doc recently, you kind of see this sort of, I don't want to say pop-up, they just kind of keep changing with this and try that with the @ symbol. Those are called smart chips, and it's sort of the centerpiece of what Google's been doing for over a year now to try and unify its workspace apps and separate itself from Microsoft and other competitors. So today we're going to kind of look at some of the bigger smart chips you want to use. It's going to be a little bit of a longer video because there's just so much to show you, but I just think it's such a big tool that maybe you're just not aware of. So when smart chips first came out, I actually thought it was more just a visual thing. So these top three here, they're all linked to the same thing. So when you had out a presentation, somebody would just come in and paste the link in and be like, that's kind of not the nicest thing to look at, but whatever. Then you get the people that would like type in here and then highlight it and insert the link. It looked a lot better. And then smart chips came around and it's like, wow, look at that. I know that this is a Google slide. Here's the head or the title of it. And I thought it was a visual thing, and it was super easy. I could just type in @ and then if I start typing in the file name, there it is. Wow, that looks really good. But smart chips have expanded way beyond that, and so let's kind of look at some of them right now. There's a couple of ways to get to them. The first one is the insert. You see the smart chips here. I actually don't access the smart chips this way. Building blocks, and we'll talk about building blocks, I kind of do. But for smart chips, I normally just type in @ and you can see here there's all this stuff. Building blocks are in here, smart chips are in here, files are in here, calendar events. They're all right there for you. So the first one I want to look at is this voting chip. So let's say I want to have my team look at my presentation. Let me just do a quick one. So let me add in the new employee again. And I want them to vote on it. I'm going to give this to like, I don't know, 6 or 7 people, and I want them to vote on it. So then I would have my file, and then I would do @ start typing in voting chip, and there it is. And you can see I could pre-select from these. I could add in another one. So I'm going to do a thumbs up, and then obviously I'm going to do a thumbs down. Thumbs down. There it is. And now we just have the team. Here it is, and then you're going to come in and vote. Okay, so that's the nice one. Very nice to use. The other one you have is a drop down. So let me actually go here, do the @ again. Drop down. Now there's pre-made ones for you. So I'll just use this one. You can see I've now inserted a drop down into Google Doc. It's not a Google Sheet. And I could always edit these. So if I don't like these, I could actually delete them, get rid of that one, and now you can see it's gone. The other one I like that's actually not in the list if I went to the insert, and that's why I like doing this, is the checklist option. And I could just start typing in stuff. And there you go. And when I check it, it's going to draw a line through it. The other thing that you might have been noticing is I start to type it, this kind of shows up. This is assigning to tasks. Now we just had a video on tasks. So this is just another nice thing of how everything gets tied together. So let's say I have a list of things that I want people to look at. I could assign each one to a different person. Assign it to somebody. So I could start typing in a name here. There it is. Just type it into anybody I want to, and it's going to go to that person. They're going to get assigned a task. It's going to show up on their calendar. So that's very nice. The other thing is if I wanted to just assign a task in a document. Now before we could use comments and stuff like that and assign it that way. But now if I just type in @ and start typing task, I could just assign something bigger to them and not just a line item for them to do. So tasks are also in there nicely. So those are the big ones: the voting chips, the drop down, the checklist, and tasks. Those are the sort of big smart chips. What I want to look at now are these building blocks. So if I go here to the building blocks, you can see all the different ones I have here. Okay, these are all pre-made templates. I will show you here in a second. So the one I like is the meeting notes. So if I click that on, it's going to look at your calendar and say, well, is there one of these that we want to look at and use? Yes. I'm going to click that on, and you could see it gives me the date, links me to my calendar event. I could type in the people. If they say they're going to be there, they're already going to be, their names will already be there, pre-populated. You could see that you have this option over here that'll attach these notes back to the Google Calendar, where you can have them always sit there. This option, just so you know, we don't have access to Gmail, but if we did, you'd click that and it would email the meeting notes to everybody. Okay, so that's meeting notes template that I really like. If I go down here back to my building blocks, and we'll just hit a couple of the other ones. The email draft is nice, but once again, we don't have Gmail, so we're not going to look at that. But if I click on like a product roadmap, you can see I have this template made, and I could add in rows, I could delete rows. Kind of look at one more here. This launch, it's just nice. Now these are pre-made, and with the ability to do drop downs and the voting and the line items, you don't have to use these. It's easy to make your own, and we'll show you that here in a second. But it is there for you to be able to use. But I'm going to show you something that just came out a couple weeks ago, and it's the ability to make your own building block. So when I was at Walnut, this was sort of my summer to-do list. I had a whole bunch of stuff I needed to get through. So I would have all my stuff that I could check off. So that's nice. I would have all my sheets and files that I need to access. And normally what I'd have to do is I'd have to sort of copy and paste this from year to year. But with the being able to build your own, you don't have to do that anymore. And you might have seen it when we did this. It has a big new next to it. It's a custom building block. So if I click that on, it's going to say, do you want a new one? Yes. And it's going to tell you, hey, highlight what you want it to be. So I'd click that. I would hit save, but I've actually already saved it. So the nice thing is that now that I've built my template, I don't need to ever rebuild this. If I just start typing in @ now I called it summer to do, and there it is. As soon as I do that, you can see it's gone ahead and put it in. My building block is exactly the way I want it. So now when you create that template that you want to reuse and be able to come back to, it's very easy to create this sort of building block, use a smart chip, paste it in. It's going to look great. You're never going to have to worry about it again. There's probably more to this that I'm not showing you, and that's the nice thing about hitting the @ as soon as you do that, you have all these different things you can go back and look at. So it's very nice. And once again, this is getting integrated across the board. Soon in Google Chat, you could actually use smart chips are going to be coming in to when you're just texting. So if you're messaging somebody on Google Chat and you want to send a file, you could just use the smart chip @ and put in the file that way. You don't even have to open up Google Drive anymore. So once again, smart chips, it's sort of the centerpiece of what Google's wanting to do. If you're not using them, I suggest you take a look at it because it's made to make your life a lot easier. And with the integration of AI, it's going to just get smarter. So just something for you to be aware of. Like I said, I know it's a long video. We appreciate you watching. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.